shock, electric 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 shock, electric
3FM 92.7 Urban Lifestyle Radio Station.
You know, I've watched you sometimes, our people disagree with you, but I mean, I understand some of your approach. I mean, sometimes we take a hard bite. It helps us as well.
Nowadays, when I listen to you, I even why? Hey,
why do you panic?
The way you, Papa, you know Papa.
Figuratively, he bites as hard as he can. Okay. And of course, when he puts his fangs into you, you certainly feel it. I think it pretty much
Johnny's Bite.
Johnny's Bite, now airing on 3FM Sunrise and TV3 New Day. Weekdays at 6.
You know, I've watched you sometimes, our people disagree with you, but I mean, I understand some of your approach. I mean, sometimes we take a hard bite. It helps us as well.
Nowadays, when I listen to you, I even panic.
Why?
Maybe, hey,
why do you panic?
The way you, Papa, you know Papa.
Figuratively, he bites as hard as he can. Okay. And of course, when he puts his fangs into you, you certainly feel it. I think it pretty much
Johnny's Bite.
Bismillahir Rahman Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallahu. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over. And surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I'll dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum.
Johnny's Bite.
Welcome to Johnny's Bite. We're in the month of Ramadan. We just finished Lent, and we are fasting. We're praying for Ghana. We're praying for ourselves. We're praying for salvation. We're praying for all the good things in life. And I wish all my Muslim brothers and sisters Ramadan Kareem. But this morning, I want to throw back a bit. You know that in 2020, while we're getting ready for election 2020, a certain propaganda happened in this country. We had what we called the Fellow Ghanaian series, where the president was supposed to be addressing us on measures taken to combat COVID-19. And that platform, sadly, was used as a political platform. The MPP knows what I'm talking about. We used that platform for a political expediency. We did. The government shamelessly did that. And as part of the measures that were announced, the lockdown of Greater Accra, Greater Kumasi, Kaswa, Tema, and all of that, we also said that we're going to give the people free water and free electricity. This was on the 9th of April, 2020, 9th of April. So we're going to give the people free water and free electricity. And we're paying for it. Play the video for me of the 9th of April when the president announced the so-called free water, free electricity. Today, if you buy anything from a supermarket, you get 1% COVID levy. Play the video for me.
Economic life of the country. I indicated in my last speech, the government will absorb water bills for all Ghanaians for the next 3 months, i.e. April, May, and June. Furthermore, water tankers, publicly and privately owned, are being mobilized to ensure the supply of water to vulnerable communities. We have decided on further measures of mitigation for all Ghanaians for the next 3 months, i.e. April, May, and June.
Johnny's Bite.
Government will fully absorb electricity bills for the poorest of the poor, i.e. for all lifeline consumers. That is free electricity for persons who consume 0 to 50 kilowatt hours a month for this period.
And I asked the question when this was announced. that if I'm not connected to the national grid for electricity, or if I live in a compound house and we are 6 people and we share 1 meter, this so-called free water, free electricity will not affect me. But now I'm paying for it. If I live in a house where I'm not connected to Ghana Water, the tankers never got to us. In most places, the tankers never got to them. And Bella will always say, I didn't get the water. But we are all paying for it. It was never free. Never ever was it free. Look, play for me the video of the Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, Cecilia Abnadapra. I admire that woman so much. I admire her so much. Play her video for me.
Johnny's Bite.
Of Sanitation and Water Resources has continuously pushed your vision of making Ghana clean and healthy so as to develop as a healthy nation. Mr. President, you have personally chaired meetings on sanitation. You have put funds into sanitation. You are the only president I have checked so far around the world that has given free water to all Ghanaians for a whole year. And you continue to do so for the vulnerable.
Why do we keep lying to the people that we give the people free water when we are paying for it? It was never free. Madam, I like you so much. The president got a chieftaincy title from the late Oblimpong. The late Oblimpong at Manchagbona. Ni Kwaku Okujiaman the first. On that day, he even mocked the umbrella. Nana Akufo-Addo, my Wednesday born mate, he mocked the umbrella. He said he was going to make Accra the cleanest city in 4 years. We are in our 7th year. Noko Bako. He's not even remorseful. There's no sense of decency, and we still go around talking about Russia, COVID, Ukraine, free water, free electricity. Where is the shame?
Johnny's Bite.
Where is the shame? That we actually do not have any shame. My own good friend, Stephen Amwa, MP for Ishasu, now Deputy Minister for Trade. Play his video for me, Bosu.
Johnny's Bite.
I was say a buy no adopt pro-poor policy. Here for instance, say ya onipa ho be hen ha no. Na de ade ne say Akufo-Addo dia wa ye no. Atwam aproso. So tia one of the top guys in Canada. Me penidi me gugu dia chiro. We're making fantastic statement about the leadership of Akufo-Addo.
That is his opinion.
In these times of fighting this corona issue in the world, he is voted as one of the best in terms of strategy, in terms of tactics, in terms of operation, in terms of leadership style. Say, ensutia is inevitable. Electricity is inevitable.
Johnny's Bite.
Adiani abedi is inevitable. Shelter. Akufo-Addo who said, "Sam microphone ko dwa so." Any people brace them. Ebi mpie. Yento niama. Akomo ma. Or see ensure the Bible say ensure nkwa. Water is life. Etimema mo dia mo nom kopem se niama be han. Montra na wo mpewe. This will be a sabi yo ebe ifo ba. E na de onye Akufo-Addo ayi. The tia ne say omanfo na hu say ye ko enim beyond this year no. Corona ne be ma wiase say more. Say wo ye mistake no mto abama ayi. Former President Mahama omawu. Because President Mahama the omani mu odekura niam akoso wantimi anye obese.
That is Stephen Amwa, MP for Insheso. We will pass it. And they cannot do anything about it, my good friend. He spoke about free water. And you see, the deception by the government that we're getting free water, free electricity is what hurts me. Because we are paying for it. What kind of Ajana 1, Ajana 2 is that? And I spoke to Ochema Boaji. The MP was ousted, sponsored from the Jubilee House and ousted because he spoke the truth. One of the men that the MPP has, he was kicked out. I spoke to him. Listen to him.
If you buy something on credit, you don't pay for it immediately, but eventually you pay for it. It comes into your debt and you pay for it. So the fact that you are enjoying it now at no cost doesn't mean it is free. That's the understanding we should get and put out there.
Let me tell you, let me probably give you an analogy that will help if you want to focus on that payment, whether it's free or it's not free. If the government gives tax waivers, or if businesses, for instance, get cut in electricity, and I'm affiliated with a business that enjoyed about 4,000 Ghana cedis per month as a result of this cut, so that would be 12,000. The 12,000 Ghana cedis for the 3 months earlier on could be used to employ at least one person or expand the business. In many cases, what ultimately is going to happen is that the government will come back and say you need to pay corporate tax of 25%.
Right.
What eventually will happen is that for the jobs sustained, I will take money from the employee or the employees whose jobs were sustained in the form of pay as you earn pay. So the government, you might think, is giving things for free when they are supporting the people or businesses. Ultimately, the government knows that, one, he's doing a social good, he's supporting his own people. Eventually, all those tax waivers and those bailouts will be paid. We will get money to run our country.
That's Ochema Boaji, Dr. Ochema Boaji. He said, we will pay for it. So I'm trying to understand why the government and all its advisors keep telling us that, oh, we are getting it for free. Listen to our distinguished Minister for Information. Recently, they launched a website to say people who misinform the public will be jailed, they will be dealt with, blah, 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 blah. The government is misinforming you that you got free water. And I've asked that question in that interview in April 2020. I said, if you buy something on credit, immediately you won't pay for it. But subsequently, if you go back to pay for it, it doesn't make it free. I've asked that question. The government is busy enacting laws, putting people in jail for misinforming people. And the government is busily misinforming people and telling them that you got free water, free electricity. Ajana 1, Ajana 2. Play Kojo's video for me.
The fiscal impact of COVID, about 19 billion cedis to respond to COVID. And we did not necessarily charge the Ghanaian for it. We had to borrow. We had to take money from the Bank of Ghana to deal with the COVID pandemic. That's why today articles are being published around the world commending Ghana as one of the best response countries. But that 19 billion cedis has to be paid for at some point.
That was Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah telling us that the money will be paid. And if you buy from any supermarket, 1% COVID levy. We are still blaming COVID, Russia and Ukraine for our wars. The monies that we are collecting, we don't know. And I don't want to talk about the other things. Government says I'm deducting 30% of the salaries of appointees, all that thing that they tell us. Let no government official come to tell us today that we actually enjoyed free water and free electricity, because it is a palpable lie. We're paying for it. Don't believe that lie. And that was used to win the 2020 elections. Free water, free electricity, where you had some sorry Ghanaians bathing in public on the street. Today they are all in hiding. I played for you 5 videos from President Akufo-Addo to Cecilia Abena-Dapaah to Ochema Boaji to Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah to everybody else. And I've demonstrated to you how it was announced to us as free water and free electricity, and how we are paying for it, painfully. Let the government not deceive you that it is free water and free electricity, because we are paying for it. And the government has been most dishonest with all of us, suggesting to us that we are actually benefiting for free when we are paying for it. That is the height of dishonesty. That is the height of what you call inconsistency. That is the height of Agenda 1, Agenda 2. The government has not been fair with us. The president must come out and tell us it was not free water after all. Kojo Ponkrumah came and told us that we were paying for it. Ochama Bwaji says we will eventually pay for it. When you do that to your citizens and you expect them to clap for you, they will do away. We need to be serious with the citizens of Ghana. And there's no decency in telling lies. Good morning.
I think it pretty
Watch Johnny's Bite.
Good morning and welcome to Business News on Sunrise. Coming up this morning, Ghana's inflation rate slows to 45% in March from 52.8% in February, more than expected, following a sharp drop in food and fuel prices. Meanwhile, Ghana Union of Traders Association entreats all members of the business community to respond positively to the fall in inflation rate and the appreciation of the cedi. Plus, Ghana makes significant progress in its pursuit for a bailout from the International Monetary Fund at the sidelines of the spring meetings in Washington.
Government can be able to push a lot of these statutory funds into growth-enhancing investments.
We have the details of these stories and many more coming up shortly. For staying with us. I am Menu Afol again. In our first story this morning, inflation for the month of March dropped sharply to 45%, according to latest figures from the Ghana Statistical Service. The latest figure represents an almost 7.8 percentage points decrease from February inflation of 52.8%.
This means that even though the general price levels of goods and services is high, the rate of increase is lower than last month's figure.
From a month-on-month basis, we recorded a deflation of 1.2% between February 2023 and March 2023. The last time we saw a deflation on a month-on-month basis was in September 2020, following a 1.1 in August 2020. So in the past period, this is the first time we are seeing a deflation on a month-on-month basis of 1.2%.
The 45% recorded for March was influenced by some deflation recorded by Food and Non-Alcoholic Beverages Group. According to government statistician Professor Samuel Kobna Enim, the fall shows the ongoing downward trend of inflation. Only few subgroups recorded inflation during the period.
So although nationally we saw a deflation of 1.3%, there were some specific items, including washing soap, that saw inflation of 9.3%. We also saw goat meat seeing an upward change of 1.9%. Ice cream and granules also seeing upward changes on a month-on-month basis. For the first time in several months, we did not see petrol and diesel appearing in the list of the top 20 items that have seen price changes. Indeed, the last time we saw diesel not appearing in the top 20 items was in September last year, and we saw petrol coming in somewhere in October. So for about
the Western North region recorded the highest rate of inflation, whilst the Volta region was the least.
That was a report by my colleague Nani Kuyamensa Abrampa. Meanwhile, a senior lecturer in finance at the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration has described the sharp fall in the rate of inflation as positive for the economy. Speaking in an interview with 3 Business, Ebenezer Buguri Anafo says this could consequently bring down the cost of credit moving forward.
It will reduce the cost of living for the ordinary Ghanaian. Borrowings rates should fall in some couple of months to come, because once inflation rate is down, we know that the borrowing rate comprises of the real interest rate and then the rate of inflation. So we expect that once inflation rate has reduced, the borrowing rate in some months to come will also reduce, and that will make the cost of borrowing a little bit cheaper.
You heard Ebenezer Bugui Anafo, a senior lecturer in finance at Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration. Now, Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, is entreating all members of the business community to respond positively to the fall in inflation and appreciation of the cedi. GUTA has urged government to take advantage of the downward trend of the exchange rate and appreciation of the cedi to further tame inflation. GUTA also urges government to continue with the efforts in reducing the high cost of doing business in the country. The association calls for adjustments in custom valuation rates to reflect the current trend of the exchange rate. GUTA wants Bank of Ghana to drastically reduce the monetary policy rate and give meaning to the gains, as well as give respite to business community. Still on inflation, the International Monetary Fund has revised its average inflation forecast for Ghana in 2023 to 45.4%. According to the fund's April 2023 World Economic Outlook report, inflation in Ghana will, however, end the year at 29.4%. There's more in the following News Desk report. This is in line with the high prices of foodstuff and other commodities such as crude oil on the world market. The report also projects that inflation in 2024 will average at 22.2% and end the year at 15%. The World Economic Outlook report further states that global headline inflation has been declining since mid-2022 at the 3-month seasonally adjusted annualized rate. A fall in fuel and energy commodity prices, particularly for the United States, Euro area and Latin America, has contributed to this decline. To dampen demand and reduce underlying core inflation, the fund pointed out that central banks around the world have been raising interest rates since 2021, both at a faster pace and in a more synchronous manner. Oh, let's talk about Ghana and the IMF now, because it appears Ghana is making significant progress in its pursuit for a bailout from the International Monetary Fund at the sidelines of the spring meetings in Washington. The country's request has received solidarity from United States and other development partners as they urge creditors to offer the needed financing assurances to help speed up the board approval process. My colleague Sani Abdulrahman has been monitoring the engagement in Washington and reports.
With the launch of the Fiscal Monitor report, where the IMF is predicting a much lower deficit for Ghana compared to the government earlier projection. Quite some good news on that front, but also a number of MPs are around and participating in sessions about the role of Parliament in ensuring the executive does not excessively spend to plunge the economy in debt crisis like the one we are seeing now. I caught up with minority spokesperson on finance, Isaac Adungo, who was equally happy with the progress made so far.
All the key players and creditors were here, and we seem to get a sense that they want to fast-track the process and avoid the level of crisis that could befall those countries, particularly Ghana.
Isaac Adungo, however, said the bailout support would be meaningless if the government does not cut its expenditure to complement the gains made from the domestic debt restructuring and the support, of course, from the international community.
We need to now begin to look at the other rigidities with the budget, particularly statutory funds and its alignment to government priorities should be a key focus of government, so that government can be able to push a lot of these statutory funds into growth-enhancing investments.
The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, and officials from the Bank of Ghana are still yet to say a word to us here. We know they've been holding a series of meetings to push the bailout through. As it stands now, board approval for the IMF deal looks very likely in early May if we do not see any last-minute surprises. Sani Abdulrahman from the spring meetings here in Washington.
That was a report from my colleague Sani Abdul Rahman. Meanwhile, the International Monetary Fund forecasts Ghana's budget deficit to be lower in 2023 than it anticipated initially. The IMF expects the country's fiscal deficit target to be 7.3% from 8.6% projected last year. The latest target is much lower than the government's shortfall target of 9.9% as contained in the 2023 budget. Sani Abdul Rahman is our reporter in Washington, D.C. for the IMF World Bank spring meetings.
We have seen the IMF lowering the fiscal target for Ghana. I'm referring to the deficit. And that's quite a good news. The government's target to register a fiscal deficit target of 9.9% for this year. The IMF is now saying we'll do much lower than that, and that's quite some good news. Also, we are seeing another session where the stakeholders here are looking at the debt situation, the spending in developing nations. We've heard some of the experts here calling on governments, among other developing nations, where debt is becoming a major hurdle to look at their expenditure and not just relying on revenue to plug the deficit.
But what has been the reaction of the Ghanaian delegation on the need to further cut the budget deficit?
The call largely has come from the IMF and the experts they lined up for a panel conversation who are not calling for the deficit to be lowered, but essentially calling for actions that will accelerate the process to get the budget deficits lowered. And the representative led by the finance minister, we have him here, we have the minister of finance at the Ministry of Finance, that is Amin Anta, and the rest of the delegation, including the governor of the Bank of Ghana, the two deputies are here as well, and a lot of the officials from the government. They have not responded yet, but I don't think this is a new call because we've heard it many times from home. Maybe the difference this time would be it is coming from the IMF. And once we are desperately and scrambling for a board approval for a much-needed bailout, they may listen this time.
Osani Abdul Rahman reporting from Washington, D.C. Let's move to the international front now. An accounting firm, EY, has called off its plan to break up its auditing and consulting divisions. The firm, formerly known as Ernst & Young, announced it was stopping work on the project because its U.S. arm decided to not move forward. The Big Four, Deloitte, EY, KPMG and PwC dominates the global accounting market share. The plan came as regulators called for major industry reforms over conflicts of interest and poor work practices. Had the deal called Project Everest internally gone through, it would have been the biggest shakeup in the accountancy industry for more than 2 decades. EY's announcement ends a year-long battle to build internal support to split units. And that's how we bring the business news on Sunrise to an end. I am Menu Afo. Do join us for more news during our subsequent bulletins at Hot Edition.
When it comes to the world of sports, what does complete mean to you?
When my team scores at the end of a 30-plus passing sequence, you know, like Pep Guardiola style.
When someone beats the buzzer from a shot from the logo, like Steph Curry.
Dominating opponents and punching my way to a knockout, like Africa's greatest boxer, Azuma Nelson.
Running so fast that I can afford to celebrate midway through a 100-meter race and smash the world record like Usain Bolt.
Hold up. What makes all of these sports complete is the screen. This is where you get access to extensive analysis, insights, and highlights.
So join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. live on 3FM 92.7 as we serve you the most satisfying buffet in the world of sports. The 3 Sports team will come together
92.7. Catch the all-new Sunrise Morning Show with me, Johnny Hughes, Helena Piampofo, William Asidu,
and Noble Crosby Allen.
Weekdays from 5:55 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on 3FM 92.7. Your urban lifestyle radio.
Let's start the weekend proper.
You are a major stakeholder in nation building. Your voice matters. Start your day with us.
Every Saturday from 10 to 12 p.m. It's authoritative. It's entertaining. It's informative.
To simplify the conversation,
this is what you want to listen to.
break down the jargons and technicalities. To keep you well informed throughout the week. Start your day with that.
What else?
Knowledge is power. We put you in the know of the happenings in Ghana and the world over. The main reason why you need to start your day with us.
We give the leaders the mandate to govern our affairs. We have a responsibility to hold them into account. It begins here. Start your day with us. Good morning, Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the wonderful world. Welcome to Sunrise on
FM 92.7. My name is Kelvin Owusu. You can also join us on Facebook on 3FM 92.7 and have a look at what we are presenting to you this morning. Let's begin from boxing, and Ghana's bid to recover boxing glory on the global stage is still on course. Mohamed Nia Jaisowa is of the opinion that talent on earthen is not enough and there should be training and support.
They can enter into management arrangement even with them, so that our boxers will concentrate on training. They will not be thinking of how to take care of their tummy and how to take care of their families, with the hope that they will become world champions in the shortest possible time, and your investment can easily be recouped from that. Having gone through the same system that I've been privileged to attain that height, should support an endeavor that will also impact the lives of our boxers.
Well, Mohamed Nia Jaisowa is the former mayor of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly and presented boxing gloves, bags, trainers and rings to the Greater Accra Boxing Federation. President of the Greater Accra Regional Boxing Federation, Evans Ben Johnson, was present during the donation and thanked him for the gesture.
We want to take the sports to the adult step so that we will engage them, because boxing is something, the sports that can just give a lot of people hope.
Given a lot of hope, Vice President of the Ghana Boxing Federation, Dauda Fuseni, has called on the government to help provide the needed support in order to enhance boxing in the country.
We have told the ministry for so many times, but still they are not giving us the needed attention. We believe before we can get any corporate body supporting us, it should come through the ministry.
All it should come through the ministry. Away from boxing, let's get into our latest. Ghana making waves in the United States of America, and Isaac Botiu is the new sprint sensation, the country's rising star in the 100 meters athletics on a high. And again, it looks like Ghana's good times are returning. Botiu started his sprint career in 2019 when he was still in high school, making a lot of impact in the tracks. He got admitted into the University of Ghana now in the United States of America for the West Texas and AM University. He admits that the integration in his new environment hasn't been smooth as he thought.
In US, it's all about education. Your education first. So it wasn't easy for me because I was using the Ghana method of education, like education system here. But as time goes on, I was able to catch up with everything and also get focused on my athletics training and also education as well.
So from Isaac Botiu, the outdoor season in the United States athletic circuit has begun, but before that, the indoor season was in full swing, and Botiu won the Division 2 National 60 meters dash in a time of 6.69 seconds.
You know, since day one, I've been winning my conference, I've been winning my heat, so the target was me getting the national title. So it's all about we focusing and training to get the national title. The feeling was amazing.
The feeling has been amazing. Butio is lightning quick. He just ran 10.06 outdoor and is already getting applauded from many in the athletic world. For many young athletes, Benjamin Azamati has become a role model and a guy they look up to emulate him.
Benjamin has been my role model. Yeah, from day one, he has been my role model because I saw Benjamin running. Although I didn't run with him in Ghana, but I saw him running. Like, I knew him. Even I tested him when he was in Ghana. So when a Ghanaian has done this, he gives me hope that no, in the near future I can also do it.
So that is it there from Isaac Butio. But there is one thing winning does, and it is you get so hooked and it never wants to let go of you. Once you win, you always want to win more. Butio is in his bubble too, but he's taking it a step at a time.
The focus is to join the national team and also to qualify for Budapest as the World Championship and also to make it to the Olympics. And it's just a matter of time. That's my anthem. Like, I believe in time and I believe in consistency. So as time goes on, they should expect something good from me.
That is from one of Ghana's sprint sensations, expected to become the next big thing to happen to Ghana athletics. Now moving away from athletics, let's get into handball. And the National Handball Championship was held in Accra. The event, which is being held for the first time in Ghana, saw the Ghana under-17 women's handball team defeat their counterpart from Benin 36-22 points. Head coach of the side, Philip Ndidi, has praised their team for putting up such a very good performance.
The girls prepared for this match, and then we are prepared to host and then win this tournament. So I think they played their best, but then the subsequent matches they'll do better.
Well, we bring you a lot of updates from the handball championship for West Africa now. Philippine Ndidi, yes, taking very good care of the under-17 women's handball team. Now, Salifu Balkisu was adjudged the best player against Benin. She gave credit to her teammate for helping her win the prize.
I'm very happy. I wasn't expecting it because we all did well. But for them choosing me as the best player, I think I did my best. They all did well, but it's teamwork.
It's teamwork that ensured she had the victory. Now let's turn our attention to football.
Oh, there's your second goal. Carlo Ancelotti has made the switch, and taking the applause is Marco Asensio. That good left foot, it was too strong for Kepa.
Yeah, he's done that so often for his team, Asensio.
So that was how Real Madrid ensured a 2-0 victory over a 10-man Chelsea. Title holders Real Madrid are looking up to qualifying to the next stage of the competition after their first leg tie ended a 2-0 victory over Chelsea, who had Ben Chilwell being sent off. However, in the other game, AC Milan won a first all-Italian date with 10-man SSC Napoli, who were without Victor Osimhen. Now, Karim Benzema was on target for Real Madrid. Right on the 21st minute at the Bernabeu, substitute Marco Asensio got the second in the 74th minute. Chelsea's Ben Chilwell, like I said earlier, was sent off. In the other game, AC Milan had Benasser Ismail scoring the only goal that separated the two at the San Siro. Frank Lampard, Chelsea's manager till the end of the season, has reacted after their loss to Real Madrid. He believes they can work out the magic at the Stamford Bridge.
There's a mixed emotion about the game. I think for the period of 11 men, we were in the game and we had some chances, and I think we can do better. And I think I've been here a short time, and there are definitely things I think that we can utilise our strengths better, especially with the system of the wing-backs. We can be more urgent in giving a problem with that, because I could see opportunity there tonight in ways that we didn't quite take. Fair at the end of the game, great. 10 men here for half an hour, you understand that a lot of things could happen in that, and I don't think we gave them lots and lots of great chances. So I like that part of it, and we have to believe. I need to be the first one that believes that this is possible.
That is according to Frank Lampard. Now moving on to Carlo Ancelotti. He says the game is not over until the tie is over.
We won 2-0. We took advantage from this game. It's not done yet. We have to fight and sacrifice at Stamford Bridge. This is absolutely normal. It's a quarter-final of the Champions League. We are satisfied for the game because I think it was a good game, and and focus on the next one. I know football really well, man. My player understand that we have other 90 minutes to play, and it will be difficult, and we have to be ready.
It will be difficult and you need to be ready. So you look at Karim Benzema's goals that has been scored in the UEFA Champions League knockout stages, and you would just marvel at the brilliance of Karim Benzema. So with Karim Benzema, in the last 9 times he's played in knockout games in the UEFA Champions League, he's managed to score in 8 of them. Well, he scored when Real Madrid defeated PSG 3-1. He scored when Real Madrid defeated Chelsea by 3-1. You can also see on your screens now when he scored in that game between Real Madrid and Chelsea, both legs. He scored against Manchester City, both legs, the 4-3 loss and the 3-1 victory. He scored when they defeated Liverpool by 1-0. He couldn't score that game, but he scored in the 5-2 victory. He scored when they defeated Liverpool by 1-0, and also the 2-0 victory yesterday against Chelsea. Well, in the UEFA Champions League, the players who have been selected as players of the week are Bastoni from Internacional. Also, Manchester City had John Stones, who was also a giant player of the game in that victory over Bayern Munich. There's also Brahim Diaz from AC Milan yesterday, winning that man of the match. And Vinicius Jr. once again getting hailed as man of the match. So the player of the week, these 4 players will be battling for that trophy. Now moving on to Manchester United, and Marcus Rashford will miss Manchester United's Europa League quarter-final first leg clash with Sevilla this week after suffering a muscle injury. Let's hear from Erik ten Hag, who expects him to return very soon.
Of course, it's a setback and he's disappointed about, but he's not totally broke, because he know he will return quickly, and so he's optimistic, and he's started straight on his recovery and his rehab, and that helps and to get back soon.
Hopefully he gets back very soon. Now to the UEFA Europa League this evening at exactly 6:45 as Feyenoord Rotterdam against AS Roma from Italy. Manchester United at 7 p.m. welcome Sevilla to the Old Trafford. Juventus also host Sporting Lisbon. They eliminated Arsenal also at 7 p.m. Bayer Leverkusen from Germany will play against Royal Union Saint-Gilloise from Belgium in that particular game. Now to the UEFA Europa Conference League, and it's KA from Belgium against West Ham United from England. AZ Alkmaar travel to Belgium to play against Anderlecht. FC Bâle from Switzerland against OGC Nice from France. And we have KKS Lech Poznan from Poland against Fiorentina in the games in the UEFA Europa Conference League. Now, Real Madrid are looking to have another marquee signing in the next year, and former president Ramon Calderon has elected his own player he thinks Real Madrid should buy, and that player is Kylian Mbappe.
Well, I think at the moment we have quite a balanced team with young players like Vinicius, like Rodrigo, Valverde, also combined with not so young like Toni Kroos, Benzema or Modric, but it's a very balanced team. So, of course, you can always improve that. And for me, now the player to sign is Mbappe. If I could sign Mbappe, he reminds me a lot of Ronaldo, the Brazilian. The same strength, the same way of scoring, the same way of running. So for me now is the player that any team would like to have on their side.
Something funny there. Daniel Medvedev marched past Lorenzo Sonego at the Monte Carlo Masters to secure a tall leading 30th win of the 2023 season. Well, the third seed overcame the Italian 6-3, 6-2 in a clean sport in the round of 16 alongside compatriots Andrei Rublev and Karen Khachanov, marking just the third time in the Open era that the 3 Russians have reached that stage at the Monte Carlo. Medvedev will now face Alexander Zverev, who clinched his spot with a 6-4, 6-4 victory over Roberto Bautista Agut earlier in the day in the next round. So that is it there from the games, the tennis that is currently ongoing before the French Open. Now, finishing off with some basketball, and in the play-in, Oklahoma City Thunder recorded a 123-118 baskets victory over the New Orleans Pelicans. Shai Gilgeous, as well as that is Jomsa ensured a 32-point night with a go-ahead baseline jumper and 4 clutch free throws in the final 29 seconds as the Thunders defeated the New Orleans to remain alive in the Western Conference playing tournament. Now, Chicago Bulls also had a 109-105 victory over the Toronto Raptors. Zach Lavine scored 39 points and DeMar DeRozan had 23 against his former team, and the Chicago Bulls had to overcome a 19-point deficit to defeat the Raptors in their play-in game tournament. So that is it there from NBA, and that wraps up our sports on Sunrise this morning. My name is Kelvin Osuansa. There is more on Sunrise. Helena Piampo for William Esieru, Johnny Hughes, and DJ Phil will serve you some sweet music as well as some talk this morning. Have a good time. See you later in the day.